truly mean scene in the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that movie felt like it was in the hard R, no giggles to be had movie, you know?
Yeah, the Deliverance movie.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Like it felt like, yes, they're just beating the snot out of him. Like that was mean.
He's laying there unconscious, bleeding, and are you trying to steal from us? Well, no.
I'm lost. I'm wearing a backwards hat and a trench coat and kicks.
And I'm bleeding. I'm not trying to steal your weed.
And regardless of the actor's real age, he's like 17 or 16.
Yeah. I didn't understand that scene. And I didn't understand why those characters were even in it.
Dude, those characters do so many weird. So there was the gas station thing. They talk about drugs when there's no reason to talk about. All they did was let people know, hey, our drugs are out there. Please don't take them.
It's an open secret that it must be in this town, right?
And then remember when before this scene that we're talking about now happens, and before the dog happens, the two drug dealer guys, the boss and his lackey, they come by a cookout. Remember they stopped by the cookout, like, hey there, and he's hitting on the girls again, the skeezy one. Yep. Like they are so present. They are just asking for someone to go snoop around their drugs.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be gone for the weekend. Don't go near our drugs. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, otherwise we'll have a problem. It's like, oh, you must have a lot if you're threatening us with a gun, and we're a bunch of troubled teenagers. Like, we're not interested in marijuana. Like, I'm just like, it's so crass.
And that's another reason why Friday the 13th, the remake, Jason has that weed. In the beginning, people go out there for the weed.
And they deserve that.
Yeah.
That's why Jason kills people.
So Jason's a pot farmer in the remake. I'm pretty sure.
And a humble hater of connoisseurs of perfect nipple symmetry.
And he's a great archer.
Yeah. Well, he was a great archer in a couple of the movies.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Crack shot. No arrows in this movie, though.
Wait, while we're talking about drugs earlier, like, remember they talk about the hallucinations that the ticks induce?
Yeah, they're walking around tripping. And
so before they're kicking the crap out of Carlton, right, Panic, before he's suffering one of these hallucinations, and it's so like you could eliminate that from the movie and you'd never notice anything was missing.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was at a club.
Yeah.
Like he was at some kind of a shady club, like a Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 club. Like, and then all of a sudden he encounters the drug dealers in the dream, and then they're beating him up and he's out of the hallucination. Like these hallucinations, that was a throwaway. They could have had a lot of fun with that.
Well, this movie's 82 minutes, right? So
right,
I guess
bold 82.
You need to crack 80 with these kinds of movies, because then you can add the commercials in to hit your 2 hours. You know what? There's 20 minutes for each hour of ads. So you add that in, you got a 2-hour movie. That's just enough to get the deal. So they probably had to come up with ways to pad this running time.
You know what's interesting, though? You could have done that with so many other dumb scenes just with a little added dialogue because, again, I'm going to return to the fact there's so many effect scenes. There's great pacing for the effects. You could just add oh, what are you here for? Oh, this, that, and the other. Like, you could have had the kids sitting around a campfire for 3 minutes telling their stories, and there could even be something funny in there. It costs almost nothing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're right. I did like, well, they have very tiny moments of character development. So the one girl, her name is, who's really good with a broom. I have her name up here. Her name is Kelly. She's walking with Melissa to go fishing, and she's just like, yeah, your dad's girlfriend really helped me. She's like, when I was raped. And I was like, what? Did you hear that line? And then, and then you have Rome and Dee Dee. I don't know what their issue is, but I think, what is their issue? What is their issue?
I don't even know.
Because she does say something funny about the ozone. She's like, I got to stay in the shade because of the ozone thing. But she's in the sun.
She's not very smart. She's just not very smart, Mark. That's all that is.
Or maybe she's going with him to this. Hey, there it is.
Maybe, but you know what though? Because like she's super rich. She's dating a guy that she knows her dad hates.
Yep.
She's even if and they're vocal about it. So she's acting out. She might be acting out in other ways. Maybe she got caught drinking a lot or something.
What did you think about Seth Green's progression? Because his dad, when he was younger, left him in the woods for 2 days.
Right.
And he just hugged a tree. And ever since then, he's been hearing voices, and it's not good for him to be alone. But I like though when he says, "I want to get better." What did you think about his character arc? He becomes brave at the end.
I think that considering the movie that we're talking about right now, they did a very good job with it, right?
Yeah.
for a movie period, it's just one of the better developments of the film.
So his dad just left him in the woods for 2 days because he was drunk?
Right, and then he split.
And then in the beginning, the dad just dumps him off again because you'll get better?
Well, I thought this was a stepdad.
Oh.
And I thought his dad left him in the woods and split for good.
Oh.
That's what I thought happened. Because I don't remember much talk about it, but when he said, my father took me out in the woods and then he split and no one found me for like 2 days. And then this other guy is dropping him off and he's a little, tough guy about it, but he's not mean about it.
Yeah, I guess he's doing something good for him to do this.
I think this is a stepdad.
Oh, or a foster parent.
Or something to that tune.
Interesting. I mean, there's some moments in like that fire moment. I'm telling you, it resonated with me.
As we're exploring, right, we see more and more scenes of these clusters of cocoons.
Yeah.
And at one point, his love interest, was it the basement of the house where she saw a wall just covered in these things?
Yep. No, wait, that was Dee Dee.
Right.
When she walked into the farm where Clint Howard was.
Oh, there. Okay. Yeah.
And you know what's funny? I have a line that you will love. I wrote, she starts staring at the goo in the barn.
Ooh.
You like it? John loves goo.
I do. No. So that really made me think though of like the Queen Alien's lair, or again, like when all those, or like when you see all of, in Billy's, attic bedroom when the mom comes up and there are all those cocoons and one of them budges a little bit, that scene just really made me think Gremlins and Aliens.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it also made me think they're screwed.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not getting out of here.
They are so screwed.
And there's a surprisingly low body count in this movie. I guess you're not going to kill a lot of teenagers.
Yeah, it's like a couple bad guys and Carlton.
Yeah, but he gets shot in the side.
But I mean the fate of his body, if you will.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, how about this? Let's take a break, and because we got a lot to talk about on this, let's take a break. Okay. When we come back, we'll talk about the human bug tick thing, the Grundle Carlton. All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. And John, when panic started turning into a Grundle panic.
A Grundle panic.
A Grundle, whatever. A Scooby-Doo. Wait, what'd you call it? A flibbity flap? What was your thing earlier?
A flibbity floop. No, so, I like the Brundle tick. That's good. That's a good cut right there.
The Brundle tick. How?
So there's no reason for this, right? Like this movie has given us no reason to think that what we're about to see is okay even in this world.
Okay.
Even in this world of ridiculous, herbal steroided up ticks. Vita rays. Vita rayed up ticks. But this thing, and it's funny you say Brundle tick because the way that it bursts out of him at first, because it's coming out of his knees, it made me think of two things. It made me think of The Fly, and it made me think of when the gargoyle emerges from the woman in Tales from the Dark Side.
Got it.
That kind of transformation. This was a very impressive scene where a tick that's basically as big as Carlton rips out of Carlton. His head splits. The limbs are piercing their way out of his joints. the whole body splits open in the middle. What really got me about this effect, by the way, not just that it was gory and sloppy and gooey, because I do love that. It's that as it's tearing away, there's layers of it. It's not just the latex fleshy goo. There's also like this kind of whitish connective tissue tearing tendon happening. Mm-hmm. And then there's the guts themselves in addition to the blood. Like they went all out on this effect.
Well, yeah, they had Can B and some big names on this doing this. So this was what the movie was about, right? This was it.
But it didn't need it.
No.
You know, like a lot of movies, this is all you would get. And there would be no monster like anywhere else, just a tick being pulled on a clothing line. You know what I mean? And then you'd see this at the end. That's all their budget. This film would have been fine without this. But when I saw this, I was just like, whoa, like this thing is insane. This giant tick comes out of him. And by the way, so we were talking about how there's not a high body count. Poor Carlton though, man. He gets bitten by a tick. He gets beaten the crap out of. I mean, brutally beaten the crap out of by these marijuana farming dudes. He gets shot
right in the side.
And then after he is dead, his body is torn in half, a la Dead Alive Peter Jackson.
And this is a character who you tried to give character development to. You killed his dog. He became friends with Seth Green. And then he just gets wiped out.
They pulled a Game of Thrones. They just executed Eddard Stark in front of us. Like, dude, like Tony Randall was Game of Throning before Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's. But when he became full Brundle tick, it wasn't that dangerous. Not much really happened because one of the marijuana farmers got bit in the neck and killed in the car. Mm-hmm. And then how'd the other guy die? He just gets thrown around.
I think he just got remember because it was like raining, like they were just dropping rubber ticks from the ceiling.
So the ascot guy got smushed.
The ascot guy.
and then I think it was just pulling on Rome a little bit at the end. And then Seth Green saved the day with a hot broom.
It's about right. And that's where it didn't make sense. The menace of the ticks.
Why is Charles not running in?
That guy, I don't know. I didn't like his character.
He came out hot, yelling.
Yeah, you'd think that his temperament might have helped in a situation like this, where he's just so angry at the ticks he starts beating the crap out of them. But it didn't happen. When it started raining rubber ticks, he was panicking like everyone else.
Yeah, and so Seth Green, with his issues, saves the day.
Yeah, it was nice.
You could see him as an actor, though. I mean, so this was made at the same time as we just potted about Airheads. Not Airheads, Airborne, and Airheads we potted about. But Airborne just came out. He was in that, and we just did Idle Hands. So this is my third in a trilogy of Seth Green movies from the 90s. I need to cover a lot more. But, I mean, he moved to a lot. Well, he was good in this movie, though, don't you think? He showed promise.
Well, I mean, whatever he was in before this, I can't even think of.
He was in It. He had been doing some work.
It was like 1990 or 91, that TV series. Yeah.
So I mean, he was a working actor, but maybe this is his first big teenage thing.
He did all right. Yeah, he fared okay. He fared way better than most leads you'd expect in a movie. Some again video era 90s horror film that didn't go to theaters. You don't expect much. And you said before, so yeah, there are a few performances in here that very much eclipse the expected quality of a movie like this.
Well, they tested it for theaters, but that got a quick no.
That's too bad.
But you look at these actors, go through their IMDb's, they stay busy. That guy, Charles, Peter Scolari, dude works. He hasn't stopped working. None of these people have stopped working. So, I mean, that's good. But,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. So what were any final things about this movie? Anything else you want to really cover?
Yeah, this is just one funny thing. So when we were joking about, like, why did that happen with the big giant tick? Like in the movie, like I said, there's no reason for that to happen other than it's a cool thing for some effects people to do. But so before this movie, right, and not by a huge margin, but like 5 years before this movie, a bunch of 80s horror movies did this thing where you have a whole lot of a bad thing, and towards the end of the movie, we're going to give you a big version of that same bad thing.
Yep. Ghostbusters.
The Gate.
Yeah.
Bunch of little demons. Big version of it Demon God at the end. Ghoulies 2.